everyone and welcome back to Animaechan, where today I'm going to be showing my reaction highlights of One Piece episode 75, 76 and 77, and then at the end of the video I will share my review. You can also read my review or notes, whatever you want to call them, by clicking the link in the description so that you don't have to listen. But if you don't want to read and you prefer listening, then just keep watching after the reaction highlights. Okay, so I'm gonna jump right into the reaction highlights because I am a bit late with this video and I do apologize, but I didn't want to rush any other videos that I had to do for Patreon. And yeah, at the end of the day, I prefer quality over quantity. So without further ado, yeah girl, you may be cute, but Sanji? Bleu, bleu, bleu. What's that? Oh, it's a telephone. I want to give that a badass point just for that music and that expression. Sanji can get one badass point for that, even though Zoro did something like a lot more badass in this episode and he only gets 3 points. But Sanji needs all the badass points he can get at this point because he's a bit behind. There we go. This is a nice place to start. And then I'm gonna say that I got a snack. I know that not a lot of people, well, there are people that don't like it when YouTubers like eat during a video, and you're just gonna have to deal with it because I can't eat while editing, but I can eat while watching something. You know, it's just so much easier because when I'm editing I need both my hands. I need to, like, you know, it's not nice to take, like, you're busy editing and then you have to take a bite. Like when you're watching something, obviously it's just so much more easy to snack, right? I'm not like super hungry, but I do have like cream cheese and there's little biscuits, salty biscuits and stuff, some saucy stuff, so that I can just enjoy the episode with a snack. I hope you're okay with that, and if you're not, okay, let's go. Aww. Of course he didn't die. It's a shonen. This isn't Attack on Titan. How? Say yes. They're already there? Oh my goodness, these guys are so fast. I'm sorry, seeing a vulture. That was a close call. Monkey. Oof. giant chicken. There was blood. What if his power is to my first guess is you know, like accelerate time, so the flower like aged really quickly, so it sucked up all the water and then it died and then it disintegrated, you know, like it would naturally, but just in a matter of seconds. Are you gonna give up the fight now? Gia. Oh! Imagine how civilized their people would have been by now if they didn't waste their time on constant petty fighting like that. Imagine how civilized, but no. Fighting is more fun. They spent their time productively. I relate to Nami so much in these episodes. This guy can't be this dumb. Sir Mr. Zero Crocodile. So he thought that Mr. 3 lied about the report, and that's why he's sending Mr. 2 to eliminate him. But he doesn't know that it's Sanji and them. He doesn't know that it was a lie, because I'm assuming that little snail thing can't mimic the person's voice. I don't know how it works. It's a snail telephone. I'm not gonna overthink it, but I'm pretty sure like it's just gonna be a good way for the story to knock out the guy before Mr. 0 and Mr. 1. So they'll gain a little bit of strength. They won't have to fight everyone at once. It's gonna work out. Yeah. Kanpai! Kanpai! Yeah, where have you been, Sanji? At least, despite him not being there during the fight, he was at the right place at the right time for this to take place. So this is it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Aww. Senbei party! His legs! What did they remember? Wait till you see it. Mine's definitely bigger. I didn't have dirty thoughts at all. What? Are they gonna go too? My lizard wins. Sorry, I'll stop thinking about it. Oh, that's a cute outfit. I like it. Yours isn't as long. Yours isn't as fat. Mine obviously has more meat. God, could you lay it on any thicker? Oh shit. Oh shit, what is it? Alright, I'm not gonna take a bite now. I don't want to miss this. I don't want to blink. I blinked. Island Eater! It's a giant Goldeen. Straight ahead! A giant goldfish? Didn't he tell that story? To Kaya. He told that story to Kaya. Trust. Trust them. Wasn't that also part of the story? Straight ahead! Straight ahead! Whoa! That looks so cool! I can only imagine what that looked like in the manga. Probably exactly like that. Okay, episode 75. Luffy attacked by magic. Colors trap. It's nice having a character like Vivi around, someone that is outside of the group, because they help us to pick up on certain things that we may get used to from being with the Straw Hats all the time. For example, Vivi says at the beginning of this episode, we aren't even close to escaping our peril, and yet they don't seem the least bit worried. It's good that Vivi points this out for us because it's important to know that not everyone in the One Piece world is like this. What I mean is, we're with Luffy and his crew all the time, so we might get used to how they are, like how brave they are, how courageous, and like Zoro in the face of danger is so chill. Like we might get used to this kind of stuff, because usually when you watch something, the main character's emotions are projected onto you, like what they feel, you feel. So you don't feel the peril they're in because they don't feel the peril that they're in, but it's not normal. In this case, having Vivi there reminds us that they really are in danger, and most people, even in the One Piece world, would be scared in these situations. I hope it makes sense what I'm trying to say here. I know that other characters like Usopp, for example, his intense fear makes you laugh and stuff, but it's just important from a person like Vivi's perspective, because a lot of people just, they laugh at Usopp's fear, and they just see Zoro's chilledness as like, oh my god, he's so badass, and so we kind of never really understand if there's not a character like Vivi telling us like, oh my god, what the who are these people? We wouldn't realize, I think, how amazing these situations are, and they're in these dire situations, and they kind of just take it for what it is, and I don't know, sort their shit out. I love it. Okay, I really like Miss Golden Week's character. I still wonder if she's called Miss Golden Week because she is so relaxed and likes to take breaks and stuff. Like how Golden Week is like this holiday week in Japan where a lot of people that work, they take off for that whole week, and some places actually give their employees off. So she's like, can I take a break? And do you understand what I'm saying? I wonder if she's called that because of how she is. I actually don't think, and this isn't in my notes, I just want to say this, I don't think like she is necessarily a bad person or she's not that, like, her ability just works really well with Mr. 2's ability. Like, them as a pair, actually, that's what makes them so strong, and I think puts them at their level, like Mr. 3 level. They're fourth most powerful or third most powerful after the boss. So I think it's mostly like, if you split them apart, I think Mr. 3 is, well, he's clearly an evil, crazy motherfucker, but her quality like enhances his quality. So that's why I think she's not as evil as he is. For example, Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine, they're pretty much on the same level of evil and strength, but these two work well as a pair. I think she enhances his power, so I don't know. And I don't think, but I'll get to that. I just wanted to add a little something in here that happens a bit later in the episode. When Miss Golden Week uses her power on Luffy, when he was standing on the black symbol, and it was kind of zoomed in on Luffy's face, but in a distorted way to show his thoughts were being distorted. Like, it was like, his eyes were like big, and it was like, when you're on drugs, it was like, that was so cool. I thought that was a really clever way, accompanied by the music in that specific scene, to convey her power and how Luffy was feeling in that moment. Anime/manga trivia. When Luffy readies his Gomu Gomu no Suchi to tear down Mr. 3's giant candle service set, in the anime he used Brogy's helmet spike to go around and around, making Brogy get dizzy. And I remember laughing at that in the anime. In the manga, I read that Luffy used a wax dagger instead. So one of the daggers that was spiked into his hands, making him bleed and scream in pain, which is crazy. The difference between that, because in a fight situation, you kind of use whatever you have at your disposal. It's just kind of intense that in that moment, it was the spike that was there, and that's what he had to use to spin around and destroy the candle service set to essentially save his friends' lives and Brogy's life. So it's just it's a small difference, but it would have given us a lot more intensity, and I'm really looking forward to reading the manga one day, and hopefully I want to do like read along videos, like where I read and you guys can read with me. So I'll say the page or whatever. But I don't know if there's like, I don't know where to buy the manga, first of all. I'll see if I can find it somewhere online. Otherwise, is there something like a manga Kindle that I can use? I kind of want to buy it officially. So, legally, I mean, whatever you want to call it. So if you guys, I like online readers, but at the same time, I think it would be really actually better to have the actual manga. But One Piece, there's so much. So I don't know, you guys can let me know what you think is best. Okay, I really love Vivi and Nami together. I think they are a positive influence on each other, and their dynamic together is really entertaining. Usopp really impressed me in the end of this episode. He was smart enough to put 2 and 2 together with what may be wrong with Luffy. Plus, in the very end, I just feel like his reaction to Luffy drinking the tea was pretty cool. Maybe even kind of badass. Shall I give him a badass point? I think so. So for, like, I have to admit, like, I didn't, in these 3 episodes, I didn't once necessarily feel, oh my god, that was badass. I was impressed by him, and, but while editing, I felt like the end of episode 75, that expression, I was like, okay, that is kind of badass. So I did give him a badass point while editing. Episode 76, critical counterattack. Usopp's quick wit and kind boshi. I just typed Miss Golden Week's color meanings just for my own reference. Black is betray, yellow is laugh, red is target, and green, this tea is good. She also used blue, but she used it with the yellow to mix the green, so I'm not sure what exactly blue is. And she uses these colors to affect I think it's a kind of their personality, kind of their emotions, kind of like, I don't really know. I don't really understand her power, but like I think I get to that part of it later. I thought my expression here was hilarious. I think it's so obvious by my expression that I was not very impressed with this ability of Mr. 3. I was like, I can't even do that. I don't even know what I did there, but I was so not impressed by that stupid candle suit. I don't know. This reminds me, I need to add these villains on my list. So once again, my up-to-date best to worst villains list isn't necessarily who I think is the best villain or who is the worst villain. It's more like like who was most interesting / entertaining to watch. Like Django is first, not because he's a good villain. Like Arlong is clearly not clearly, but in my opinion, Arlong has been the best villain, like objectively, from a more objective perspective. He was the most evil. I'm sure we can go into much more depth when discussing villains, but this is more like my favorites, like who would I want to see again in the future, you know, kind of like that. For me, it's Django, Buggy, Alvida, Arlong, Kuro, Miss Valentine, Miss Golden Week, so that's where I put them in, just below Kuro. Gin, Hachi, Chu, Morgan, Moji, Kabaji, Don Krieg, Nyaban Brothers, the Mouse Marine Guy, Pearl, the Shield Dude, Mr. 3, and Mr. 5. There's other villains that I didn't put on here, like Kurobi, but he didn't make an impression on me, so I don't really care if I see him again or not, but these are the ones that I care to remember, at least. Okay. According to Mr. 5, Mr. 3 has a bounty of 42 million belly. I didn't realize that bounty hunters could have a bounty on their head. How do they then claim a bounty? Like, Mr. 3 wanted to get the bounty that was put on Dory and Brogy, but how was he going to claim their bounty if he himself had a bounty? Is that just how Barok works? And then I said, oh wait, Mr. 0, because while I was typing I realized this, the boss is one of the Shichibukai, right? And he is behind the problems in Alabasta. And also he works with bounty hunters. And some of them possibly have bounties like Mr. 3. And yet he works with them, but also somehow works with the Marines. And I was just like, fuck, this is corruption at its highest level. What the fuck is going on in this world? But I mean, we've seen how corrupt a lot of Marines are. So clearly this world isn't perfect, you know? And I think that's why a lot of people end up becoming pirates, because fuck, if even the Marines are being so corrupt, like why should they pay their taxes if their taxes go to fucking crazy ass stupid Marines like what's that guy's name, that Mouse Marine or Axe Hand Morgan. Miss Golden Week is such a cutie. This was such a cute, she was like, can I take a break afterwards? And then she did this smiley face. Look at the little face. She's so cute. Miss Golden Week is such a cutie, and I love her voice too. Her voice actor is Akiko Nakagawa, who also voices characters like Pastel, G King from Fortune Quest, and Sota Higurashi from Inuyasha. Although I've never watched either of these anime or any other anime that she's worked in. So if you click if you're on the notes, you can click here and go to the voice actress's page, Akiko Nakagawa, and then it shows you all the other characters she's played, Miss Golden Week being there. I don't really understand how her paint affected the candle robot suit. Apparently, she wields color traps, which controls a person's emotions or affect their fighting abilities by painting colors upon their body. I could see how it affected Luffy's emotions, and she used that to her advantage so that he was unable to fight, like making him laugh or making him like feel really relaxed and have a picnic with her. But how exactly did painting the suit affect his fighting abilities? Did it make him more angry so his fighting would be better, or what? Her power at this point seems the most arbitrary to what I've come to know thus far from One Piece. It's really arbitrary, and I'm not even sure if her powers are even related to devil fruits at this point. I'm pretty sure now, after thinking about it, that because I assumed she was a devil fruit user, but I don't think she is, because I don't remember them ever mentioning that she ate a specific devil fruit, although I do remember Vivi mentioning which devil fruit Mr. 3 ate. So I think if she had eaten a devil fruit, they would have also mentioned it, because they took the time to mention that Mr. 3 is a candleman. He ate the Doru Doru fruit or something. So yeah, I feel like it's interesting to know that there are other kinds of magic in this world, like paint magic. And in the end of episode 77, we also see that the giants use some kind of magic too. So it is interesting, but it is honestly the most arbitrary at this point. Like it wasn't explained. It was just kind of like, okay, that exists. But anyway, this to me is a really nice picture. I love this. Nami, I already said this, I just realized, but I was doing my notes in short. I'm taking short little breaks in between because I had a lot of other work to do. So it wasn't really short little breaks. I would take a break and then I'd start doing something else, and then I'd forget, oh my god, I still have to finish my notes. So anyway, I probably forgot that I already wrote this, but I saw this while editing and wrote it again. Nami and Vivi make a really good team, and I'm not sure if I mentioned this before. I know now that I have. They are a really good influence on each other. Vivi brings a more feminine energy to the group, which I think puts Nami a little at ease, so she's not so aggressive. And Nami, because she trusts in the crew so much, puts Vivi more at ease. So they kind of bring out the best in each other, I think. Another anime manga / trivia thingy. In the manga, Miss Valentine sits on Usopp when he's laying down on his back. In the anime, Miss Valentine sits on him when he's laying with his face down. So she sits on his back, whereas in the manga, she sits on his front, which I think is just, they probably just changed it because less suggestive. I don't know, but I kind of now want to see, like, just for fun. Like, don't mention that, because then I'm going to think about it. And now I want to see them, like, in, like, a ship custom art and them two together. But he obviously belongs with Kaya, but still, they made me curious by saying that now, because they put it in my head. Okay, this to me is a really cute little, like, Usopp looks so cute here. Big props to Usopp for being so smart and quick thinking during this fight. And then I'm posting this picture. It's a Den Den Mushi. I'm posting it to remember what it's called, because right after posting the full reaction, someone mentioned in the comments on Patreon, they mentioned the Den Den Mushi, and I almost googled what the fuck is a Den Den Mushi. And then while editing, I was like, oh. Okay, this is our first glimpse of Mr. Zero. Cut the bullshit was his first words. His first words are cut the bullshit. I wonder if that's a hint at the type of person that he is, since he also seemed to take it very seriously that Mr. 3, Sanji, gave a false report. So seriously that he sent Mr. 2 to kill him. Even though it could have been a simple mistake, unintentional, like Mr. 3 could have thought he already killed everyone, but one person faked their death and attacked them again from behind. Like, that doesn't seem to matter to him. He was just like, oh, you lied, I'ma kill you. Or actually, he was like, oh, no, that was fine. And he's like, Miss All Sunday sent Mr. 2 to kill him. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? So clearly, this guy is like, doesn't take any bullshit, doesn't make any lies or anything. And I'm just, because this was our first introduction to him. And I think that a character's first introduction is very, very important. And I actually want to go back and watch the whole fucking anime again. And I want to take note of each character's introduction. Like, what is the first thing they say or do? because that's gonna set the tone for that character. Like that's, you know what I'm trying to say? And yeah, I still want to rewatch this. I still want to read the manga and make notes. Like I want to add onto these notes. One day I want to make these notes into a book. So there's some stuff that I want to change around, like stuff that links to other pages. Like I can't do that if I want to print the stuff and I want to save it. There's no point in like you can't click a link on a page. So I need to change it around a bit, and I'm looking forward to doing that one day. But I think there's still a lot that I need to watch and then rewatch before I can actually, because this is my first viewing. Like you never notice everything on your first viewing. And just by the way, I did make a little list of my favorite arcs, because I've watched quite a few arcs by now. But I want to finish this Alabasta saga thing, because it was the East Blue one and now it's the Alabasta one. So I think I'm going to finish this, and then I'll do a video about my favorite to least favorite arc so far and why. Go away, bug. Episode 77, Farewell to the Giant's Island, on to Alabasta. In the reaction, I said at one point, imagine how civilized their people would have been by now if they didn't waste their time on constant petty fighting like that. It sounds so serious if you take it out of context, but it was just a joke in the reaction. But I just wanted to expand a little on this. By petty, I meant petty from my perspective, obviously, like fighting over something they don't even remember. In my opinion, that's petty, but in their world, obviously that's not. And I don't mean to like look down on them or anything. It's just, I just thought, like, imagine how if they didn't spend like 100 years fighting over something they don't even remember, imagine what they could have done with that time. Like, by civilized, I mean an advanced stage of social and cultural development, like educated, advanced, developed, da da da. I just think that if Dori and Brogi had been fighting for 100 years, it's very likely that many of their other people, people from their culture or village, also often fight about things. And I'm just thinking that if they instead used that time for something productive, the civilization as a whole would have probably progressed much further by now. I'm aware though that this is just my own speculation. I have no proof that they'd spend their time in any other way, that they'd have been more progressed, advanced, educated as a civilization. It's just something I thought about. Okay. I love how they're snacking on Miss Golden Week's rice cakes. Whatever happened to her and Mr. 3? They didn't want them to get away, but they probably just beat them up and let them escape anyway. Like, Luffy punched or kicked Mr. 3 in the face, and Kyruin probably, I don't know, attacked Miss Golden Week, but it's not like they ever killed him. It's not like they ever tie them up and throw them in a dungeon. They just beat them up, give them their just desserts, and then, I don't know, did they leave them there? The only one we know is like that one guy from that filler. He was killed, definitely, by Nami. And possibly the otter, I think her name was Miss something, Miss Friday, was probably killed by Sanji, because that looked vicious. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, that was harsh to me. That little otter's face, like, obviously it was self-defense. That bitch would have killed Sanji if she had the chance. I think now the otter is Mr. 13. People tell me all the time, and I keep forgetting. I don't know. I think now the vulture is Miss Friday. I'm not sure. But that little otter's face and the blood and the oof, it was harsh. It makes me still feel sad when I think about it. So weird. The weirdest things, like, just people laughed at me in my Dr. Stone video too, the first reaction, because all the people were being turned to stone. It's not a spoiler because that's literally the anime, it's the setup. But the dogs weren't turned to stone, so I was sad for the dogs, because the people who are turned to stone, they can be saved later. The dogs, they were on their own. They were tied to the one person, the leash, and the little dog, no people there to give it food. We domesticated dogs, and now without us, what? They would have been eaten by carnivores and shit, and the animals that escaped from the zoos. I don't know. So I was sad for the animals. I don't like seeing animals get hurt. I've said this before, I don't remember in which video, but that John Wick movie with the dog, I didn't finish that movie. I watched the first 10 minutes, the dog dies, fuck it. Didn't watch the rest of the movie. Don't fucking kill a dog. Don't. Okay. A bug bit Nami, and I'm almost 100% sure that this is not just a bug bite. Why would they take the time to animate just a bug bite? You can't fool me. She's gonna turn into Spider-Woman or some shit. I don't know, but that's not just a bug bite. Okay, Zoro really does say damn straight a lot. What is the actual Japanese translation? He says it too fast for me to hear. So obviously it's a Japanese word, and probably the closest translation is damn straight, but I want to know what the actual Japanese word is, or Japanese phrase, because I can't hear it. It's like, I don't know. So please tell me if anyone knows what is damn straight. What does he say there? When Zoro and Sanji talk about the hunting contest, Dory and Brogy seem to remember something, but they don't expand on what it reminded them of. This probably has something to do with their 100-year feud, but I can't be sure. I'm pretty sure we'll meet them again one day though, because Usopp seems pretty determined to go to Elbaf. I really love this quote. A friend's honor must never be tarnished, no matter what the cost. And this is really important to me, because when someone is my friend, like, I will do what I can to protect their name, their honor. Like, if someone is rude to a friend or something, like, or I take that really seriously. And like, it's not just with friends, obviously, it's like with any, like with my boyfriend, for example. When I was, I think, my first week or two in university, or like his dad treated him like, he said rude things to him, and I would like call up his dad and be like, what the fuck did you just, why do you do that? This is the, I'd be that person. Like, I'm not shy to stand up to adults, even when I was younger. Like, if I don't know how to explain it, but even today, like recently, the same thing happened, because I was so serious about someone's name not getting dragged through the mud. Well, I don't want to get into that, but the glowing red and blue weapons of Brogy and Dory, and the way they ended up defeating the giant goldfish, is making me think the way their eyes and aura shone before at the start of the arc was not just for dramatic effect. It seems to be related to some kind of special power. They also said the following: only the blood-stained serpent we cannot pierce. It was like they were saying a little spell or something, and then a blood-stained serpent? I wonder what this refers to. Something to do with their religion or culture, most probably, but I wonder if it will come into play again later in the story. And then this is just the end of the episode, and I thought it was really, I'm assuming that this is straight out of the manga, and I think that it looks really amazing. And then there's a couple of comments from patrons if you want to go read through these. One is from Assimilator, and then I replied, and then one is from Aimin, and MAD Monk, and Anatol Hafner, and me. So yeah, you can go read through the comments if you just click the link in the description for the notes. I'll try and put it in the pinned comment too. I should also remember in the pinned comment to put where the review starts, because my reviews are YouTube exclusive. My Patreon has all the full reactions as it states on the about section, on the tiers. My Patreon is for full reactions to seasonal anime, is for tier 1. Non-seasonal anime is, and like One Piece and a lot of other anime that I'm reacting to, like Haikyuu. What else am I watching right now? Let me just see. Drifters, Haikyuu, Danmachi is seasonal because it's season 2. Magical Index, Grand Blue, Makbake Monogatari, Tokyo Ghoul, all that stuff is for level 2 and up, including One Piece. And so it's all just full reactions, but my review part is just for YouTube. So I have to remember, note to self, to put in the pinned comment where exactly the review starts, to make it easy for patrons who've seen the full reactions. They don't necessarily want to see the highlights. They could just jump to the part in the review where whatever they want to listen to. But I think maybe it would be interesting to watch the reaction highlights too, because then you'd see like what I chose to include, because I personally, I don't know, I would find it interesting to see like what did I take out. I don't know, I'm curious, because I would try and like interpret why did they include this and not that, and then but that's just me, because I overthink things and make notes and whatever. You don't have to spend time doing that. Anyway, thank you so much for hearing out my thoughts. I'm really looking forward to doing a video about my favorite to least favorite arc so far, and doing a little explanation on why each arc was my favorite or not, or why each, like, I would probably start from least favorite to most favorite, or most favorite to least favorite. I'm not really sure how to do that, but I'll think about it. And I just think it would be better to finish this current saga and then do it, because otherwise it's so random. I like being a little bit more organized. Like there's like end of the saga before the next one, then I'll do. And I also, what I want to do is when I've done watched 100 episodes, I would I want to do like a highlights video of all my favorite moments, or my favorite reactions to some of my favorite moments. I don't know. I'll see. Okay, so once again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next video. I'll be watching episode 78 and 79 on Tuesday night, uploading it for patrons, and then I'll edit and upload it. Usually it'll be either the late Wednesday or on Thursday. If I watch on Tuesday, yes. And then I also watch and upload episodes on Friday for patrons, and then it'll be finished usually on the Sunday evening. Okay, see you guys next time.